What if I told you there was a story about Apostle Paul? A story so controversial, it was whispered about in secret, debated for centuries, and almost buried in the sands of time. A tale not found in most Bibles. Yet it holds one of the most shocking accounts of love, devotion, and rebellion against societal norms. This is the story of Paul and Thecla, a relationship that shook the ancient world. And the truth behind it might leave you speechless. Before we dive into this fascinating tale, make sure you hit the subscribe button, like this video, and click on the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of our deep dives into ancient mysteries and untold stories. Now, let's uncover the shocking truth about Apostle Paul and Thecla. In the first century, the Roman Empire was at the height of its power, opulent, ruthless, and unyielding. The rise of Christianity in this world was like a flickering candle in a tempest. Apostle Paul was a central figure in this movement, but his work wasn't without controversy. Among his many followers was a young noblewoman named Thecla, whose story has captivated scholars, historians, and theologians for centuries. The Acts of Paul and Thecla, a text excluded from most versions of the Bible, provides a window into their shocking and mysterious relationship. It was a story that defied societal norms, enraged the Roman elite, and even made early Christians question its implications. But who was Thecla? And why did her connection to Paul spark such controversy? It began in Iconium, where Paul's radical message of salvation and purity drew crowds. Among those who heard him was a young noblewoman named Thecla. She was betrothed to a wealthy man, her future seemingly secure. But when she heard Paul speak of forsaking worldly desires and living wholly for Christ, her world was turned upside down. For 3 days, Thecla sat by her window, refusing to eat or sleep, completely enraptured by Paul's teachings. But her fascination came at a cost. Her mother, her fiancé, and her entire household grew furious at her sudden defiance of societal expectations. Yet, Thecla was unwavering. Her heart and soul were now bound to a calling greater than herself. But was her devotion purely spiritual? Or was there a deeper, unspoken connection forming between her and Paul? Thecla's newfound faith didn't sit well with her family or the Roman authorities. In their eyes, Paul was a dangerous agitator, spreading ideas that threatened the social order. Thecla's fiancé, humiliated and desperate to reclaim her, accused Paul of leading her astray. Paul was arrested and thrown into prison, but Thecla was determined to see him again. Under the cover of darkness, Thecla bribed the guards to gain access to Paul. Their meeting was brief but powerful. Paul encouraged her to stand firm in her faith, even as the world turned against her. But their secret meeting only fueled the flames of scandal. In a shocking turn, Thecla's own mother demanded that she be burned alive for defying her family and societal norms. It was a public spectacle designed to humiliate both her and the man she followed. As the executioners prepared the fire, Thecla stood resolute. But what happened next left everyone in stunned silence. A sudden storm erupted, extinguishing the flames and sparing her life. The crowd murmured in awe. Was this divine intervention? Was Thecla under the protection of a higher power? After her miraculous escape, Thecla sought out Paul, abandoning her wealth, her status, and her family. Together, they traveled, preaching the gospel and challenging the deeply entrenched norms of their time. But their growing partnership raised eyebrows. What kind of bond could inspire such devotion? Thecla's defiance made her a target yet again. Arrested by Roman authorities, she was sentenced to face wild beasts in the arena, a punishment reserved for the most reviled criminals. The Romans believed this gruesome display would serve as a warning to other women who dared to follow her example. But as the beasts approached, something extraordinary happened. They refused to attack. According to the Acts of Paul and Thecla, she was miraculously protected, further solidifying her status as a woman under divine favor. In a bold move, she baptized herself in a nearby pool, declaring her faith in front of the stunned crowd. Her survival wasn't just a victory for her faith. It was a direct challenge to the power structures of Rome. Thecla's unwavering courage became a rallying cry for Christians, especially women, who saw her as a symbol of liberation and divine purpose. Thecla's story didn't end in the arena. She continued to preach, inspiring countless others to embrace the faith. But her relationship with Paul remained the subject of speculation. Was it purely spiritual, as Paul's teachings on celibacy suggested? Or was there an unspoken bond between them, a connection deeper than words could capture? Some scholars view Thecla as Paul's protege, a trailblazing woman who broke barriers in the name of faith. Others suggest their partnership hinted at a level of mutual respect and affection that defied the norms of their time. What's clear is that Thecla's story, and her connection to Paul, represents one of the most fascinating chapters of early Christianity. Paul and Thecla's story is more than a tale of faith. It's a narrative of courage, rebellion, and divine purpose. Whether their bond was purely spiritual or something more, their legacy has stood the test of time, inspiring generations to stand firm in their beliefs, no matter the cost. The truth about Apostle Paul and Thecla remains a mystery, but one thing is certain. Their story continues to challenge and inspire us to this day. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell so you won't miss our next fascinating story. Until next time, keep seeking the truth